Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Disco Elysium for what is probably going to turn out to be a slightly less wonderful and terrifying episode than the previous one. I mean, it was just it was a lot of stuff what happened there. But for right now, I guess all we're doing is getting in a boat and returning to the mainland. I mean, it can't be over. We got too much XP during that interrogation for it to be over. But at this point, I have no idea what I expect to do with seven skill points bordering on 8. I mean, I could just jam them into stuff, I guess. Maybe I should. Maybe we should try to craft up the character as I see him. To be perfectly honest, this might be too many skill points. Let's throw some into reaction speed. We should probably get our logic up a little bit. I think our character's quite logical. Encyclopedia's sitting at 5, but honestly, probably makes sense for it to be higher. Dude, as we see him. Volition and Inland Empire are nice and high. Shivers is good. It's always talking to us about weird stuff. Actually, I kind of like how it's always talking to us about weird stuff. And then Composure. I think we're regaining our composure. I'm just going to dump a bunch of these skill points. I don't have any idea what to do with them. We're going to get another one real soon, so if we happen across a check that we do end up needing to unlock at some point, we can do that. And our map has... Oh yes, I certainly did do a bunch... I certainly did unlock a bunch of stuff, I guess. Alright, so this dude's out, totally comatose, just sitting there. Okay. I guess let's get a move on? Hold on a second, he said he saved a bullet. You know, one thing I was thinking about was we got a weird message to check the last ball on the beach. I wonder if that message was trying to point us toward Klaasje's secret cache of documents. Because I didn't even think to check the beach to the west of those buildings down by the fishing village. But I bet that's what it's talking about. There's a thing down there, and if we'd found that, we could have taken her papers, and that would have prevented her from being able to escape. I don't know, maybe. Let's just make sure that we're not missing anything here. Oh, I didn't interact with the bed, did I? There's a greasy old spring mattress in the corner, resting on piles of soft-cover books. White linen and a pillow are visible under a worn-out caracul blanket. Someone has been squatting here. The lieutenant inspects the bed. The linen is fresh, recently washed. Yeah, we know, Kim. We got it. There are signs that someone lives. You force the rest of the sentence out through pain, thick as molasses, no longer able to hear yourself speak. You know, officer, he looks at you with a touch of concern. You can rest here if you're feeling tired. I'll keep watch. You could use some rest for what's ahead. You know what? Maybe just a little shut-eye, 'cause, it'll give me some XP. It'll give us probably a skill point, given that it's a task. You face the concrete wall. There's less light there in the dark corner. Like a dog, you lie there. And then I curl up with my knees close to my chest, you know, like a dog. The blanket feels cold. The entire room does. Concrete and cold. Minutes pass. Half an hour, maybe? The sounds of the sea beyond grow distant. Your eyelids close. Until you feel yourself standing up in the darkness, right next to the mattress. Slowly, the world begins to hatch from the blackness. It's evening. Are there going to have been consequences? Kim, keep watch? Is everything cool? One other thing I wanted to look into was, the guy said that he hid a bullet somewhere. Uh-oh. I don't have my UI, so that's a weird sign. The lieutenant is no longer here. Go outside to the beach. Isn't this where the door was? I mean, I guess we could go this way. The blast door's shut. Yeah, okay, I'm having a weird dream. Door is back like you never opened it. Here we go. Here's a door. Here's a door that's definitely going to take me out to the beach in a very normal way. Very extremely normal beach times. Uh-oh. If I can't manipulate my UI, that camera issue we've been having is actually maybe going to be pretty severe. Yeah, that's a problem. Is there a way to center? Okay, there we go. It jumped over to me eventually. Where is Kim? Maybe he took the guy... Go down to the chain. There's something there. Maybe Kim took the guy to the place while I was asleep, but also maybe I'm having a weird dream. Now do it. Walk into the water. Yeah, I'm definitely having a weird dream. You see her footprints on the water. Well, okay. I'm just gonna walk out over... Oh, this is... something. This is all really something. Dolores Day, the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state, turns around to face you. She has an airship bag in her hand. She seems to be in a hurry. Off to advise the Queen of Shest, most likely. This is the Holy Suzerain of Mundi and Insulinda. Definitely not your wife. You need to talk to her. Think of the historical knowledge you could glean. I don't know, man. What is the Holy Suzerain doing here? Something seems off. Very off. Just let her go. Listen to me for once. Hold on. Can I give her some of these figures? My volition says just let her go, and I'm inclined to agree with it. This is some stuff... Our character is moving forward. The past has obviously been a hard time for us, but we're moving into the future. I'm just gonna not get involved. Just let her go. Go. Goodbye. Is what you want to say, but you don't. Hammers clang in the distance. Children laugh. Ah, damn it, everything was fine already. The light from the video rental casts shadows on the ground. She turns her face and it's illuminated by it. Red and cyan. I can't help you. I'm totally useless. Everything I've said is lies. I want the exact same bad things you want. To stand here like a pillar of salt saying... Hey.
Hey.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really good, actually. Both professionally and romantically. I've come to a fulfilling and peaceful period in my life. How are you doing, Harry?
She's so quiet. Well... I solved the entire case of the Hanged Man.
Wow, see? The entire case.
She smiles. It's another sad smile with knitted brows.
Good things can still happen.
I guess, yeah. Trying to be forward-looking and positive here.
Exactly. Now.
She glances over her shoulder. You hear distant traffic. An airship passes overhead. Dogs bark somewhere. This is everything I always warned you about. Something is off.
I'm sorry. I was heading to the aerodrome. I just don't have time to...
She stops mid-sentence and glances to her right, then looks at her bag. She means she doesn't have time to tend to your emotions. Okay, well I'll just say that then. You don't have time to tend to my emotions. She sighs and looks over her shoulder. I'm gonna try this again? Nope. I want to go. Where? There's water all around. She turns her face and it's illuminated by the sign of the video rental. Yep, okay. Where are you going?
I'm going to Morova. To live there. In Grad. It's 1 million kilometers away, Harry. Might as well be another lifetime.
I should not have investigated the bed. This was a big error. What's in the bag?
Just my scepter. My globe cruciger. A spare silk gown. toothbrush, travel documents, the crown of immortality.
It's kind of weird. She is wearing a crown in her 3D model, but not in the portrait. The crown of immortality. Aren't you already wearing one?
Oh, this?
She corrects the wreath on her forehead.
This is just a wreath. The crown of immortality is made of rarefied light, mana and raw palladium. It was passed on to me by the rulers of late antiquity.
She looks at the suitcase, not knowing what more to say, then over her shoulder.
Anyway,
Yeah, can you stay for a moment? We need to talk. We need to have one more massive epic showdown, apparently, because dream logic, I can't avoid it.
no, Harry. No. I don't want a massive epic showdown. I want to go to the aerodrome. I have tickets for the 10:20 flight to Morova. Really. We don't have anything to talk about anymore. Every combination of words has been played out. The atoms don't form us anymore. Us, our love, our unborn daughters. It's all gone. I have to go to the aerodrome. I have to leave Revachol and you. And you have to be alone. In hell. Forever. That's just the way it is.
Oh god, whatever you do, don't try to kiss her yet. Not after that. You're still reeling. You'll fall over if you try it now. It does seem... First of all, my suggestion is negative. I brought you this figurine of a headless FALN rider. I don't want it. She doesn't take it. It looks expensive. I don't want it. I thought you liked figurines. I thought the figurines were for getting you back. That's not what the figurines do, Harry. But then the figurines don't do anything. She looks at the headless FALN rider between your fingers and doesn't know what to say. Figurines don't do anything? Anything at all. But I thought the historic figure she liked war games and figurines? Yeah, I thought it would be good. Well, maybe this revolutionary figurine then. Maybe you can take this revolutionary figurine. It's got a little musket. No, please. Please don't give me anything. Okay, I won't give you things then. I didn't ask for things. It's too late to give me anything. I would have liked the headless FALN rider back then. But that's not a very good way for things to be. It's not, but... She looks at her feet. Little golden sandals cover her toes. But what? Tell me there's something good. I don't know why I said but. There is no but. That's it. That's it, yeah. She looks up from her toes. We've talked about it 1,000,000 times. You'll get over it just like I did. People do. And things will get good for you again. Where? In hell? Stop, you're only making it worse for him. You never help with anything. Yeah, actually, fuck rhetoric. Man, has rhetoric ever helped us? I'm not getting over it at all. It just takes some time. For you, I think it will take something like 20 years, maybe? It was hard for me too, you know. I used to think I couldn't live without you. She looks you straight in the eye. Her irises are light blue, flecked with green. But I can. She keeps her shoulders squared and her back straight, but it's clear you're still making her sad. 20 years, that's so much time. Yes, it only took me 1 year, maybe 2. She smiles and wipes her brow in relief. Whew. This hurts. This is hard for me to get through. I'm being totally honest with you. We had to deal with it. I mean, you can't move forward without dealing with it. Your innocence, Dolores Day. Sorry I made you sad. It's okay. Okay then. super okay. I still have other things I need to know. No, so this is going to take us back to the previous menu, right? We should... I don't want to say this because I know how it ends, but I think this is the only way forward. And there's still things for us to do back in the waking world. It doesn't have to be like this. Maybe we could try again? No, Harry, we can't. Why? We already tried again, and it didn't work. Is that how it is now? We should just try all good things twice and then give up? Well, by that logic... Not you two. It's funny how Volition is like the only one who's really with me here. Well, okay, I won't ask anymore. She does not seem relieved at all. Glances over her shoulder, then at you. The neon sigh of the video rental glows behind her. I'm sure that's supposed to be sign. I'm getting the feeling you're not really Dolores Day. I don't know what you mean. Dolores Day. She looks at you quizzically. It does not seem like a mystery she wants to get into. You're the morning. The morning? I don't understand. No, I meant mourning. I'm grieving, but you're not even dead. Oh my god, Harry, stop. I don't want to hear anything about the morning. Mourning someone who's still alive, any of that. I can't do that anymore. I'm not 80 years old, I'm 32. People my age are not supposed to mourn. She breathes out, and it sounds more angry than a sigh. We need to get out of this conversation, man. On second thought, no, yeah, you're Dolores Day, Queen Regnant of the territories of Mundi and Insulinda, and nothing else. Yes, Harry, I am. Things have gotten much better for me, now that I'm the ruler of the known world. She pulls up the silvery sleeve of her gown to check the time. Oh god, it's already so late. I have to go, Harry. Tiny golden watch with red straps around her bony little wrist. But you said I have a vast soul and you will always come back to it. We both said a lot of things. We were very young. It was her. I can feel it. I can see it in her tender, long fingers, in her wrists. Her hand wrote it, said those things. Actually, you didn't say it. You wrote it in a letter, a handwritten letter. I kept it in my paperwork. As Queen Regnant, I write a lot of letters. She brushes a strand of white hair out of her eye. You need to recite it to her, for effect. All of it. No summaries. Man. Yeah, put a stake through your heart. She'll get hurt too. Collateral damage. You know, like that thing Yoshimitsu does. She won't get hurt. She'll bend out of the way. I'm not reciting it. You know what I mean. You left me a letter saying you'll always come back to me, that you can't believe how happy you are with me. Okay, Harry. She sighs. Okay, it was morning and you slept. The room smelled of cigarettes and Rowans. There was hoarfrost on the ground when I left. It was autumn, the first one we had together. But you have to understand, it was 1,000,000 years ago. No, it was 100 million years ago. I was someone else then, filled to the brim with love for you, hanging on your every word. Oh, Harry, you were the coolest. But I am no longer that person. This, she points to herself, has taken her place, and it will devour you. Harry, I will eat your mind. The light of the video rental shines through her dress now. A DeLorean figure cut in black moves below. It's still her. Her legs, her breasts, her hips. I was cool? The coolest. She closes her eyes. With your leather jacket and your boot-cut pants, smoking in the bus stop. I wanted you to be the rest of my life that day. And you were. Some of it, at least. You were my first. My first kiss, my first time to have sex. The first and worst time I fell in love. I'll always have that with me. It's a fact. But that is all it is. It's like a ticket stub, Harry. It doesn't do anything anymore. A ticket stub. Yeah, let's talk about that too, she nods. Let's bring it up. The zoo, in Le Jardin the day we went east of the river, to the aquarium first. I was sad about my mother, I don't even know why. The shimmer of the fish tank on my face, the octopuses... It was just a day then, but to think, we were there now. You could touch my hair, kiss me, talk to me about anything, go, she shakes her head, virtually anywhere in the world. Not like now. Now our interactions are limited to pain and regret. Well, what now? What happens now? What is the next thing we talk about? Is there really anything left? If not, we can always repeat one of the things we've already talked about. Talk about it again. She looks over her shoulder. If you don't feel like doing that, you should let me go to the aerodrome. No, don't let her. Don't let her go there. You should redo the topics, go over everything, the things you didn't say before too. Make it go on and on. We have to figure out how to get the hell out of this, right? We gotta figure out how to get the hell out of this. Don't go? I have to, Harry. Really, I've already missed the 8:30. Her fingers wrap around the bag handle. I'm gonna go now. Lies, sire. She cannot but love you. She has said so 100 times. No. I'm gonna say, okay, I understand. I have to let go of the mourning or it's gonna hollow me out. No, you don't. You're just being a martyr, and I'm really going now. The time is up. I must be on the 10:20 flight. She turns. Will we ever see again? There's probably supposed to be more words there. The game really has gotten more typo-laden as we've gone on. I won't see you, but you will see me. How can that be? Oh, Harry, this is a dream, can't you see? I'm already in Morova by now. Who knows how long ago this happened? She looks around. A year? 2? 5? Well, how will I see you again, then? Right here. Tomorrow night. Once this dream starts happening, it keeps happening. 3 times a week, at least. And Harry, it really, really looks like it started happening again. I mean, there's the video rental. And I'm suffocatingly beautiful and young, and I smell of tutti frutti chewing gum, like I did that time when I asked you for forgiveness. After leaving you, the first time, so long ago. But this is intolerably bad. Oh yes, this is real darkness. It's not death or war or child molestation. Real darkness has love for a face. The first death is in the heart, Harry. See you tomorrow. It's one of those times when I'm profoundly happy that I don't do this with a face cam. I think the thing is happening again where it's not it's not centering the camera on us. I could probably do this during a conversation. Yeah. Well, you're up quick. How was your sleep? Let's solve this fucking case. We already solved the case, remember? You were sleeping. Oh. You thrashed around, then you bolted up half covered in blood from your wound. Are you okay? Look, let's get back to the mainland. That's the next step in the task chain. Okay, he replies simply. He's still worried. You really must have thrashed and squealed in your sleep. Probably not super good for my wound, which is, I assume, why I'm covered in blood. But who among us hasn't woken up once or twice, screaming and covered in blood? You know, it happens. Wait, how the hell did I get in here? No, I got in here originally through... Yeah, okay, there is a door here. I'm trying to think, is there anything else? He said he hid a bullet. Hold on. I want to go out, I want to go out here one more time. He said he hid a bullet for dealing with Renee, and we Still don't have our pistol, but now we have the rifle that he has been using to shoot people, and I'm just thinking, if we could also have a bullet at the same time, all this armor and this great rifle and a bullet, that would be awfully nice, wouldn't it? I'm still very nervous. Things have got to come to an end soon, and I've grown paranoid after all the murders. Wait, no, this isn't where I want to be. I want to be up at his, yeah, up here. This is where he would have kept the bullet, right? Maybe in the bed? Or behind it or something? Let's see. Inspect the mattress. Looks like we don't have any new options here. Yeah, okay. I guess either he didn't hide the bullet in a way that we can actually find it, or I just don't have whatever skill, whatever little bit is necessary to make it happen. Because we have a couple of bullets, but they're 9mm bullets, and I can't actually use them. I don't know. Maybe we're not even going to run into any further gun-type problems. We've probably passed the violence. I'm just paranoid and real desperate to just feel like I'm doing something that's going to help the situation at the moment. Sorry if things got a little raw there. That's, maybe I shouldn't post that. I don't know. Hey, let's play the video game, huh? Let's do a video game. So we just take the boat back to the mainland and we call for help in the Kanima, I guess? Gonna get a medical team over here so that this dude doesn't just, like, collapse into nothingness. I did think it was super odd how the text all kept describing his eyes as black, but I thought it was just poetic license. You know, sometimes the game is a little bit poetical, a tiny touch poetical, so... Alright, back to the boat. The skiff is swaying on the waves by the dock. Let's get back to the mainland. Let's. We're done here, he says, adjusting his glasses as he looks out over the water. The skiff rocks gently under your weight as you get in. The ride back is uneventful and quiet. But for the sound of conversation on the water, there's someone inland waiting for you. You reach the jetty and climb out of the skiff. Someone inland waiting for me. Hold on, let's make sure that we're, like, reasonably outfitted. I'm gonna keep the armor on because paranoia, but let's make sure that we're, like... Are we wearing the stuff that makes the most sense for potential conversation aside from that? Probably not. Like, this jacket's probably wrong. What do we want to wear instead? Empathy and hand-eye coordination? I kind of like that. Visual calculus? No, let's go for this. And then... Inland Empire and Volition, I'm totally fine with. Encyclopedia is also cool. What other glasses do we have? Visual calculus minus drama. I don't know. I think we're probably outfitted sensibly here. I look extremely sensible. It's a very normal thing to wear glasses under this kind of helmet.
You're quite the tide brought in,
says the man without sunglasses. Suddenly his expression changes and he tilts his head.
I want to call you a teapot, but I'm honestly kind of impressed. No idea where you got all that gear, but there's no doubt in my mind that some bad people are looking for it. Also, you look like a fucking idiot.
I think I look kind of cool, although honestly, the fact that the helmet has sort of a pith helmet appearance to it sort of makes me look like the walking avatar of colonialism, so that's a downside. Whatever this is, it is completely unimportant compared to what you've just seen. Yeah, I've seen some shit, man. This is the man with sunglasses from the Whirling in Rags. But where are his sunglasses? Definitely the thing to focus on. Alright, I'm glad we're having another conversation with these people, because this is kind of like the last big question, right? The armor? I don't know, no one else seems bothered by it.
Oh, really? They don't seem bothered by it? That's because you're a cop in an exoskeleton.
Yeah, I'm a cop in a goddamn exoskeleton.
Actually, are you? Are you still a cop? There's so much disco going on. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I don't know. I might be a cryptozoologist now.
Hey, calm down.
Who are you people?
Hello. I'm Trent Heidelstein. I believe we've met on several occasions.
Well, like 2.
I'm your goddamn partner, Jean Vicmar, and this is your special task force, or what's left of it.
Oh, special task force. It's like the Shield.
Special consultant Trent Heidelstein, patrol officer Judith Minot.
Hi.
We have come to scrape what's left of you off the pavement.
Actually, I feel fine, maybe better than I've ever been.
Lieutenant Kim Kisuragi, Precinct 57. We've just come from the island where our investigation led us.
The scene is making even him feel as though he has to justify your actions.
We might need your help with something later.
He adds, suddenly regaining his confidence. As if he recalled that he's, in fact, a decorated police lieutenant and not a naughty boy.
But this is clearly a departmental matter, so I'm going to leave you to discuss it among yourselves.
No, Kim, you gotta have my back. Let's destroy them. Way to feed me to the wolves? What do I want to say here? I do feel a little betrayed, to be perfectly honest with you. But Kim wouldn't... There's no way that Kim would totally hang me out to dry, right? I'm just gonna say thank you, Lieutenant, and trust that if he is needed, he will come.
It's good to meet you, Lieutenant Kitsuragi.
She says warmly, flashing Kim the tiniest of smiles. Letting the lieutenant know he shouldn't feel embarrassed over the shitstorm that's about to befall you. So, what is this about? I'm not going to tell them about the phasmid. They don't deserve to know.
Ari, we want to help you. Trant, I believe this is where you come in?
I don't quite know what I'm doing here. I was asked to participate as an expert. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. I'm at best an enthusiast in cognitive science.
That was a real weird line read in the middle there. I think I need to manage your expectations a little. It's like it comes from deep inside of him. He can't live unless he's managing people's expectations.
My background is in something else entirely. I engage in neurology on a merely theoretical level. In fact, I should probably get going.
No, Trent, it's too late. You're part of this shit now. What have you got to say for yourself, shit kid?
That I solved the case. Shit kid. What an interesting monitor. Sorry, what's a shit kid? You. Shit kid. That's you. Maybe you've deserved it? Aw. Whiffed the rhetoric. Let's see here. Boy, I don't want to say horse-faced woman to her. I don't have any options to say, hey, I did the job and I'm actually really good at it. How did you know I was here? The cafeteria manager you fucked over told us where you went. What? I saved his establishment and still he betrays me? Strange, he didn't mention that. In fact, the establishment didn't look saved at all. There was a giant aerograffito in front of the building mixed with blood. No, it was this one junior delinquent. I don't know. He squints at you suspiciously. It had shit kid written all over it. That was kind of a strange choice, because the it was one junior delinquent line almost seemed like a response to the other dialogue line we could have stated there. Like it's weird to say no here, right? He didn't ask if it was us or I don't know, it's just a strangely written exchange. Duped again. No one's who they say they are. Duped? Hey, here's a brilliant idea. Don't be a morbid drunk and you won't get duped so easily. Okay, that does have something to do with it, yes. No, everyone's just a brilliant master of disguises. You mentioned a task force? Yeah, Major Crimes Unit under Lieutenants Dubois and Vicmar. Vicmar, maybe? I don't know. Ring any bells? Refresh my memory. Who else is in this? Refresh your memory, it's a goddamn Major Crimes Unit. There's you, me, Jude, Trant fucking Heidelstein, and Guillaume Bevy. He stares at you. I'm technically just a civilian advisor. Fuck you, you're part of this shit show. Yeah, wait, who's Guillaume Bevy? Oh, that's an interesting story, actually. He's not smiling. Guillaume Bevy is a police reporter who joined our team. He was really good, and then he left because he lost faith in your ability to lead the unit. Other people have left too. Good, smart people. People we won't get back. Only me and this really patient patrol officer are still here. And Trant, because I'm forcing him to stay. Okay, so what does the unit do? It's a major crimes unit. We clear the desk of cases so Precinct 41 doesn't look like the worst station in town. We're shit tier now, Harry, because of you. The 41st isn't... He trails off, not wishing to finish the sentence. So where have you been all this time? Where have we been? We've been fucking off, as far as I remember. He crosses his arms. You told us to fuck off. You said we're cramping your style. You're detective god. Fuck everything, all will burn, detect or die. Yeah, that does sound like me. Why would you leave a literal police god? It's a solid question. You were crying hysterically. You were drunk, breaking things, being emotionally abusive. You said we were going into the abyss. None of us wanted to see the abyss, so we fucked off. Like you told us to. I'm gonna be honest with you. None of this is ringing any bells. I don't know that we want to, engage with... We say, hey, you're not the person you were disguised to be, and they're like, no, that's correct. I was not that person. I'm this person. I don't think we need to say any of that. None of this is ringing any bells. The bells aren't ringing because you have brain damage, Detective God. Trant, he turns to the blonde, this is where you come in. How bad is it? Well, he doesn't have visible tremors. He talks without slurring, he can drive a boat, he's standing, reasoning, all good signs, but complete retrograde amnesia, episodic and semantic, meaning you forgot both who you are and the definitions of money, Isola, pale, and so on. As displayed in the station call, our interactions with him, and I don't want to be a snitch, but also mine with him before, when Harry did not seem to know who I was, it's all very interesting. Interesting? Yeah, interesting. I have my theories, but I'd like to hear Harry's thoughts first. Harry, he turns to you. What do you think happened to you, neurologically, psychologically, and, why not, socioeconomically? Wait, sorry, socioeconomically? You think I'm so poor I lost my memory? Well, not when you phrase it like that, but I don't think critical theory, I know everyone thinks this is far-fetched pink academia, but still, I don't think it should be off the table here. What? He lost his memory because of capitalism? No, not like that. I'm not talking Fridfort school here. But, Harry, I asked you, what do you think happened? Yeah, that's an interesting question, my friend. There is a hole in the world. Maybe it drank my brain. I am a highly experimental detective. This was just a method that I used to solve the case. I mean, it did work. You can't argue with the results, except for all the dead people and everything. I keep saying 7 dead, but it was 7... Was it 7 dead, including the 2 guys Kim shot, or was it 7 dead and then also Kim killed 2 other people? Anyway, lots of dead. I think something so sad happened to me that I couldn't be me anymore. It was a defense mechanism. I'm pretty sure this is right. I kind of want to say this thing, though, just because I think this is like a fascinating story to try to tell. Capitalism did fuck me beyond all recognition, as it fucks us all, but I don't actually think that's what happened to my memory. I'm really torn here, and I feel like this might be important. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm a highly experimental detective. This was a method I used to solve the case. Son of fucking Lung here. Detective far out Son of Lung on the case. Listen, I have accomplished things no normal detective ever has. No, I want to say transcended again. I like saying the word transcended. This is all pointless. I've completely transcended all of this. You have no idea what I just saw. He has hinted at the possibility before. I have trouble believing him, of course, but he seems to want to convince himself of it. And I've seen him work. His methods are unorthodox. I kinda hope that under the hood, there's just a weird shit Kim has seen you do counter, and we've been rolling that thing up the entire game. With all due respect, Lieutenant, you're bewitched by the shit kid. It happens. What doesn't happen is a cop wiping his own memory to solve a case. In fact, it's not possible to wipe one's memory. At all. Even with the amount of potent pills... That's probably supposed to be Pilsner? He downs every hour. He's simply lying. Or insane. Or both. Detective Vikmar, I'm not saying he's the son of Lung, but... lying? I mean, he has blacked out before. I have? Yes, a couple of times. After some of the more serious benders. She pauses, remembering. One was after the two drunks case. The other when we looked into that mural. So you don't remember not remembering. Beautiful. Interesting. So at first he dipped his toes into it, prepared. That's where he would have gotten the idea. Yes, practice. And then he used alcohol to get there, so to speak. What do you mean? Well, here's my theory. What if this is an absolutely normal reaction to the world we're living in? What if this is not a significant anomaly at all? Something to be explained, approached as a defect? I mean, look at the sensory input here. He gestures toward the scenery. Look at the ruins, the neon, listen to the radio, the multitudes, the people. I live here for 40 years. As a police detective, he's like a magnetic reader on the world tape. To borrow a known metaphor, Harry's been pushed flat against it. Total input. Hardwired to the free market, he nods confidently. He just needed for it to end. Okay, Trant, thank you. That's absolutely meaningless. I'm glad we brought you. Will he or will he not be able to work in the Major Crimes Unit? Is he a Cretan now? I want to know that. Well, he's not a Cretan, and he is able to do work. If not in his previous leadership role, then as a line detective. Man. Boy, what do we say here? Here's the thing. I led this investigation, and not only did it work, kinda, sorta. I mean, listen, we found the guy. There was collateral damage. That's a horrible way to talk about that, but you know, the point I'm making here is that the deaths are sorta not entirely within the purview of the case. Like, I figured out the thing. I'm ready to lead again. I think I'm, I also think that if I'm not the lead detective, I'm definitely going to get fired. Because I have some unorthodox work habits. Yeah, I'm ready to lead again. No one even mentioned that. He looks at you, then at Trant. I misphrased my question. It should have been, is he able to put his clothes on and use the potty, or do we need to get him on a disability pension? Sorry, what now? Now nothing. Now we're just gonna stand here. Okay, I will just stand here. Yeah, just stand there. It's cool. This guy is so sarcastic. Really? No, now we discuss that. He points to the water. What the fuck did you do to our motor carriage? Motor carriage. Why is it there, Harry? Yeah. Tequila Sunset. I also jumped the canal, by the way. Ha ha ha, ho ho ho. He grabs his stomach in humorless laughter. Tequila Sunset, jumped the canal. So funny, Harry. Thank you for fucking me. Thank you for destroying 45,000 real of police property that's coming out of my payslip. You know that, right? You're gonna get fired, and I'm gonna pay until I die. That doesn't matter. He exhales to calm his breathing. Your badge, Harry. Show me your badge. Yeah, I got my badge right here. Check out this badge. In a rush to demonstrate your badge, your eager fingers can't sustain a grip on the smooth plastic, and the badge slips out of your hand. Oh, so close. Well, we do have pretty high hand-eye coordination. That's fine, I'm just gonna catch it. Aha! Not today, badge. Behold, my badge. The man is unimpressed by the piece of plastic in your hand. And your gun? As if having your badge and gun are natural states and not achievements. Gun, yeah, you don't have that. Maybe you can, philosophize your way out of it. I mean, he says philosophize. This is how we would philosophize, right? I kind of want to say, hey, look at this better gun. I have upgraded to a different, better gun. But I'm going to hit this. Gun, badge, car, these are all just like things. Things don't matter, people do. You're drunk, aren't you? You lost your gun and you're drunk. You're a drunk, gunless bum, I can smell it. Hey, I quit drinking, forever. It's only me in this boring hellhole now. I don't buy it. Why do you smell like a corpse then, huh? He's wounded. He looks at you. It's been a long week, and he's handled an actual corpse. Let's see, we could keep going on about what I've discovered. It doesn't seem like that's really making an impression on this dude. I did wash the death off me, but I probably do smell like blood at least. No idea what you're smelling. Wait, I did wash after... Wait, did I wash after? Uh-oh. Yeah, I've handled an actual corpse. I don't believe you, he squints. You're drunk. You let a suspect escape, a certain Klasia, because you were too drunk to assess her flight risk. We read the reports, Harry. Lieutenant Kitsuragi's. We know. Listen, not taking her in was the right thing to do. She gave a vital clue that led to the island. Oh, well, if she was nice... He rubs his face in frustration. I'm not even going to get into the other suspect who also escaped. Yeah, Ruby something? Or the fact that you're Everard Clear's little peon now. Doing I don't know what for him. That's small-time stuff. That's nothing. That's a humorous anecdote. Compared to the 9 people who were gunned down. Okay, so it was 7 on the Union side and the other 2 guys. The streets are literally red with blood, Harry. It was a fucking mass murder. He did everything he could, the lieutenant interrupts him. We did everything we could. The company hired unvetted mercenaries. Lieutenant Dubois got between them and the locals. He did so at considerable risk to his own life. He was shot and survived only because of his armor. We stopped an execution, not a negotiation. The loss of life was minimal compared to what it could have been. Yeah. Also, I also solved the case. It's solved, all of it. Part of me wants to just really press on the Insulindian Phasmid thing, but as much as I think that's the coolest thing that happened here, and I think it's an interesting way to close things out, I don't feel like it's in character, because I think Harry takes being a police detective fairly seriously, right? We do it in an unusual way, but we do it really hard, and apparently kind of well. I also solved the case. It's solved, all of it. Detective, it's better if I do that, he says in a lowered voice. It's so much better if he does this, like 1,000,000 times better. Thank you for the input, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. I didn't mean to suggest you didn't handle the situation. He brushes a stray hand of hair out of his eye and coughs. You've spent the week with him on this case. What's your take? On the case? On Lieutenant Yefretor Dubois. Well, he pulls up his collar. The drinking, the gun losing, also losing the badge, that's all true. Although he has not been drinking on the job this week. See? 1 week. Then there's the self-flagellation issue. He likes to apologize profusely, making it sound like he's guilty of at least first-degree murder. It's not a good communication strategy for an officer. It's worrying, especially considering his political views. Detective Dubois is, as you may know, a Mazovian socioeconomist. Economist? What on earth? Socioeconomist. He wants to liquidate the ruling class, which, again, for a police officer, is a little odd. You should yell something. I don't think I should yell something. That's a very good thing to yell in this moment. Oh, I don't know if I can restrain myself. It's probably not a good idea, but the thing is, I am a policeman of the state to come. I am, though. The RCM consists of policemen of the state that is, so a little discrepancy there. He turns back to Vikmar. And then there's the motor carriage in the sea, and the drugs, of course, some kind of anti-radiation drug he uses to induce visions. He breathes in sharply. But, despite all this, he is a great detective. One of the best I've seen, in fact. He can talk human beings into telling him anything, and he doesn't stop. In all the time I've spent with him, he has not once stopped working on the case. He is tireless, madly driven, So I'm a little curious about this. This is something I'm really interested to hear about. So, like, let me know in the comments. Obviously, some of this text is based on the stuff that you actually did, like me having done the anti-radiation drugs in front of Kim. But I'm curious about, like, this stuff. Does he always say he can talk human beings into telling him anything, no matter what you do? How much is that even true in a different playthrough? Because it may be the case that you have to get people to fold sometimes. I don't know, I just want to know how different this sequence is from person to person. Well, except that one time when he stopped to sing karaoke. Which, by the way, was a valiant effort. He really sang his heart out. Yeah, it was what it was. Other than that one time, he has tirelessly worked on the case. And he solved it. We have a confession, a murder weapon, and the perpetrator locked on the island right now awaiting transportation. He apprehended a revolutionary brigade who stayed hidden for 50 years, ever since the revolution. Who's probably committed other murders over those years. He pauses. Oh, and he also discovered a new species. A new species? A colossal stick insect. It was on the island, camouflaged as the reeds. It unfolded from the reeds. I think we may be dealing with the Insulindian phasmid. I am so shocked that Kim was willing to bring that up. I've had a real effect on him. I might have ruined his career. He takes out the photo and shows it to the officers across the yard. Rain comes down, and he covers the glossy photo of the phasmid with his hand. You hear gasps beneath the howling of the wind. As you can see, it's about 3 meters tall. In fact, we think it may be the largest land invertebrate ever discovered. Boom shakalaka. As you can see, I'm a pretty okay detective and an absolutely giant communist. Yet this is what I've been trying to tell you about. I do kind of want to shout that I'm a giant communist of the state to come, but that's more because it's funny than anything else. Look, this is what I've been trying to tell you about. He ignores you, still staring at the phasmid. Fucking hell. Is this somehow connected to the case? Detective? Yes. I believe the pheromone it emits may be responsible for the killer's mental degradation. The old man was not aware of the phasmid's presence. Exhibiting a strange, atypical dementia, he fell into a stupor after its appearance. He became near catatonic. So it is connected. I must say, this, he points to the photo, is absolutely extraordinary. I don't even have words for this. Yeah, it really does make it hard to fire the drunk. His tired eyes follow the photo as the lieutenant puts it away. This is a very, very sad man who has just seen something that's made him forget his sadness. Now you make your case. Now is the time. Now or never. Wait, I make which case? I have a lot of cases I can make here. I'm not actually sure what to do here. I definitely don't think we need to talk about the phasmid anymore. The point about the phasmid has been made. I'm still just making the case about me being the detective. I'm not trying to be like, hey, here's our evidence, arrest that dude. Okay. The previous head of the Debardeurs Union was assassinated by our killer. The lieutenant lowers his voice, just a little. This is a conversation for when we are no longer out in the open, in Martinez where Everett and Edgar Clare have ears everywhere. And eyes, too. Your return from the island must not have gone unnoticed. Understood, of course. The consultant, too, has lowered his voice. I would prefer not to partake in anything Union-related for political neutrality. Okay, well, there was also a dead man on the boardwalk, a missing person that I found. Yes, fallen through a gap in the boardwalk drunk. How did you know I found him? The body was transported to Precinct 41, our morgue. I had Tilbrook and Mullins take care of funeral arrangements and family stuff. You're not the only cop in the world, Harry. This all comes back to us. Still, good work with the missing person detective. The killer, Lilianovich Dross, we have a strong motive for him. Well, Lilianovich... Excuse me. The special consultant raises an eyebrow. A revolutionary matronym? A revolutionary matronym? The custom started in Grad, where they have patronyms, Krasovich, Larsovich. The revolutionaries saw this as a chauvinist atavism, so they used matronyms derived from the mother's name instead. The man's mother was Lillian. He's Lillian's son, Lilyanovich. The custom was overturned after the revolution failed, but not before it made it to Revachol. So, it is what a soldier of the ICM would be called. Thank you, Trant. Thank you for that piece of cultural theory. He turns to you. You said you have a motive? Oh, of course, excuse me, I just thought it was noteworthy. Yeah, so... We don't think that the phasmid's pheromones caused him to kill, right? I mean, they were definitely causing some erratic behavior. He did not kill the mercenary hoping to start a war between the company and the Union. An act of jealousy is kind of correct, and this is also kind of correct. I'm going to say this thing because the phasmid is kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card here, I think, a little bit. But we killed him in an act of rage, induced by the phasmid's semiochemicals. Possibly induced, he corrects you. But even without that, this man spent 50 years on the islands in the bay, in solitude, loathing what Revachol has become. There's plenty for prosecution to pick from, in terms of motive. Also, we have a sniper's nest with full view of the room in which the mercenary died, right on the island, and 2 officers on the scene that Mr. Dross confessed to. It is a clean win. Oh, it's way more than that. Way, way more. It's more than that. A perfect folding mechanism. You know, like the phasmid. It's my masterpiece. They'll teach this in cop school. Masterpiece. He rolls his eyes. Get over yourself, Harry. I can still smell the booze on the wind. God damn it, doesn't it ever leave? It is there. It's like in your bones or something. It will pass. In time. I also looked into the mystery of the doomed commercial area. He shrugs. I don't know what a doomed commercial area is. Well, Rue de Saint Ghislaine 10. A commercial building where all the businesses go bankrupt. I looked into it. Why? That's not what you were supposed to do here. There was a fridge we needed, and a possible witness. He was just chasing a lead, and ended up advising a local shopkeeper. It was okay. Well, of course, she turns to Vicmar. Call it community outreach, right? Dodged the bullet there. For a moment it seemed like you were just wasting time. I also confiscated drugs from Kuno's dad. Who's Kuno? You don't want to know. You're right, Lieutenant. I don't. He turns to you. You snorted the drugs, I know you did. It's alright. I mean, at this point, anything is but the drink. Well, that's good to hear. Also, that phasmid was female. The reeds are its nest. Female? What makes you think so? You had to see it. It had the subdued colors of a female. And the nesting behavior, too, I think. Incredible! Were there eggs in the nest? Not as far as I could see. There were other things there, though. He turns to you. I think it reproduces by parthenogenesis. As in, cloning itself. What makes you think so? Oh, should I mention that it told me? That seems dangerous. Observation. I observed it telling me. This is not a lie. Interesting. Then it is especially vulnerable to disease. A single strain of bacteria could wipe out the entire species. But we're probably talking conservation efforts here. He looks around, quickly assessing the coast. In his mind, he's already planning a nature reserve, and knows a good guy for that. It had gathered items in its nest. A helmet and a scope. Actually, this would indicate it was a male. This is far from anything in my field, but I think such nests are called bowers. They're for attracting mates. Bowers are built by males of species who can't afford colorful mating displays physically. This one was plain colored. Oh, it could have been male, actually. And it must be robust if it can move a helmet with its limbs. He trails off, lost in thought. And it had mandibles that looked like hair, and it was completely white on the inside. Yes, but also reed-colored, beige and brown, a little green, on the outside. After unfolding from a single stalk, It still retained parts that looked like reed tufts on its limbs. Incredible, he repeats, turning to Vikmar. The PR value of this is exceptional. Cop discovers new species? Maybe even discovers the Insulindian phasmid. Well, no, that's too much. This would really help with some of the problems we've been having. Oh, absolutely, this is great. This does not say vigilante murderers to me at all. This says science, news, human interest. He smiles. You know, it's a really good thing you have that photo. Without it, he shakes his head. Man, I'm so glad we passed those red checks. So, what do you say? Want to take this hot shit back? You should probably say hot shot, that would be smarter. I don't want to, but you discovered a new species and solved the murder. So I have to. Jude? A quick nod. Anything that ends the trial is okay with me. Agreed. The public relations potential of this is too valuable to let go. Okay, he sighs. We have vehicles in the square, and the perpetrator needs to be taken into custody. Let's go. Wait, I have a few questions before we go, about who I am? The man looks westward impatiently, jingling his car keys in his pocket. Okay, am I a dirty cop working for La Puta Madre? No. No, because the suspects seem to think... You're too unstable to work for a mob boss. You're suicidal, Harry. No mob boss would take you. I assure you, I wouldn't consult for a corrupt unit. He would immediately backpedal out of it. I told you it's not that bad. Okay, the phasmid. I need to tell Lena about this ASAP. Who is Lena? She lives at 1113 Tabernacle Road in Jamrock, remember? A cryptozoologist. She lives in Jamrock, on that road. I always say, every time I say that word, I say it a different way, and I immediately go, oh shit, that's not the way you're supposed to say it. She told me about this phasmid. It's on the way over, near where you live, on Perdition. She looks at Vikmar. Fine, if we're gonna drop you off anyway. She and her husband were conducting the search for the phasmid. It's their discovery, in part. Yeah, I'll share credit, that's fine. They should know as soon as possible. It would do you good to deliver some positive news for a change. Lieutenant Kitsuragi, what will you do now? Well, first I will go back to my station and write the most detailed report anyone has ever seen. It will have to be good to cover all this. Then I will have a serious talk with my captain. About what? He pulls up his collar and looks around, the cold spring light reflected in the lenses of his glasses. Detective, we just stopped a small-scale war. Something is happening to Revachol. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be a hard spring for the RCM. We need to get ready, infiltrate, investigate. Distant traffic. A scrap of newspaper drifts by, carried by the wind. It says, wow, that's an incredible roll we hit there. It says, tensions rise in Terminal YC in light of the debardeurs strike in Terminal B among representatives of heavy industry in Coal City. That's pretty impressive considering that we have some minus perception stuff on. Well, do you want to do that at Station 41? And talk to Captain Price? I'd rather not ruffle the feathers of two captains with my doom-mongering. No, I meant investigate. Come work with me in Precinct 41. Work with Price. A crooked smile quivers on his lips. I'm flattered, but I don't know if I... This truly came as a surprise to him. Not a bad one, but he's at a loss. Flattered? You're Lieutenant Kitsuragi. We would be flattered if you even considered... The man turns very serious all of a sudden. I would have to tie things up in GRAH first. But, I mean, whatever is coming, Jamrock will be more central to it than the harbor. And we also have a huge caseload, Lieutenant, she says with a smile. Piles that we need to get back to, mountains even. I do like the sound of that, he returns her smile. He's really considering it. Hell yeah, man! Did we kind of get a happy ending? 7 people died. 9 people. 9 people died. It's like a happy-ish ending. It's like a 6 out of 10. Why am I like this? Well, that's not a mystery. Some chick fucked you over and also you're a drunk. You really went with it, too. Really maximize the damage. Some chick. Who? Dora something? Dora Ingerland, he thinks? Yeah, you mentioned her name. Not Dora Dubois? Dora Ingerland. Something like that. Half Vasan. Vasa is where beautiful and impossibly blonde people come from. So we weren't even married. No one's married anymore. This is Revachol. When was this? God, I don't know, he thinks. 6 years ago? She was way before my time. 6 years and you haven't gotten over it. What the hell is wrong with you? 6 years? Yeah, or 7? I mean, you're not doing too good there. It's an old man thing. 2 old years equals 1 normal year. That and Dora Ingerland really tore you a new one. A big one. Who was she? Incredibly bangable? No, I meant, like, what did she do? She was incredibly fuckable. A beautiful bourgeois woman, waifish, like a Welkin, basically. Snow Welkin. Blonde Welkin. Heartbreak Welkin. Pain Welkin. I've only seen a picture, but it's obvious you formed a real spiritual connection with how pretty she was. One you never recuperated from. Look, she turns to face the sea. The sun is going down. It's time to go home. I think she taught in the Académie d'Art, east of the river, like way east. Hard to say which came first, the middle-class chick or the drink. Egg and the chicken kind of thing. My point is, you need to see a psychiatrist about this shit. Not a psychologist, several degrees harder. Is there something harder than a psychiatrist? He pauses to think. A forensic psychiatrist. Go talk to that. Sorry, somebody is messaging me on Steam here. Let me just put my Steam status to invisible for a moment here. Okay, sorry about that. In other words, he's heard enough about this. Okay, so, like, who am I? Who are you? You're a gym teacher, Harry. What? Well, obviously you're not a gym teacher anymore, but I'm so glad we leveled up. But before you were a cop, you were a gym teacher in Couronne. She looks around. It's getting really cold outside. Should we maybe... That does explain a lot. Harry, it explains everything. The running around, the jumping, the bicep girth, your inexplicable facial hair, the collection of FALN sportswear I've amassed, some of your more old-school wording choices, your posture even, the constant stretches, and this guy too. God, even this javelin-throwing freak here. You said in Couronne. I was a gym teacher there? Yes, you taught gym in Couronne. I believe that's the term. Taught gym at a high school. You were a high school gym teacher. The smell of sweat and glue, the worn floorboards. Couronne is just east of Jamrock. It was a short walk every morning to the baseball field or the sports building. High school, Harry. Your goings-on with Kuno, Andre, Assel, the whole thing on the ice. That's why you're so juvie. His smirk suggests barely contained laughter. Okay, when was this? When was I a gym teacher? In your 20s or late 20s. You really let yourself go since then. He looks you over. Well, why did I join the RCM? The regular. You found some chick, she inspired you to fight the big fight, be more than you are, all that. You, every morning, walking from Voyager Road to teach gym. She, leaving for the academy with her spring coat on. The air filled with the smell of smoke and raspberries and incredible hope. An ocean full of hope. Okay, I see now. I knew it. I knew no normal human being can run like that. He's an honest-to-God gym teacher. You know what, we may as well ask the final question, since this might actually be the final question. Precinct 41, what kind of station is it? Us. We're the bloody murder station, haven't you heard? We're the bad guys, no one likes us. That's not true. Jamrock is too big for one precinct, you're just understaffed. And everyone respects the 41st. You have Captain Price. Thank you, Lieutenant. You're being kind. It is an understaffed station, and the district is too big, which is why we need to... He tilts his head northward. Get back to it. We left Torsen and McLean to run the Sea Wing. That's not good. Torson and McLean? Mac the Torso Torson and Chester McLean? She arches an eyebrow. They're not fit to run a wing, believe me. Things are shaky as it is. They are damn iconic, though. Torson and McLean. An iconic duo, I take it. Yeah, not like us, two clinically depressed old men. Where's the contrast here? We're both garbage. And the C-Wing is... God, he sighs. There are 4 wings, Harry. A, B, C, and D. We're in C. It's made of losers and clock punchers. You and I reconceptualized it as a task force, which was a mistake. And there's also a lot of outside help involved. I mean, not only me, he smiles. Other losers, too. And Price is... Ptolemy Price? He's the son of the old Price, one of the founders of the RCM? He's one of the most highly regarded men in the Force. You're lucky. Somewhere, under the curved roof of a former silk factory, shaped like a ladybird with 2 chimneys, Police Captain Ptolemy Price sits behind a heavy wooden desk. Resident medic Nix Gottlieb pours him coffee. It's silent in the captain's office. They speak of change, the city, the tension on the streets. They speak of the events of April and the blood on the streets in May. Did we recently shoot up a church by any chance? Oh, so he remembers that. Yes, there may have been a raid on some churches. It wasn't good press. Shooting up churches never is. I was out of town, to be clear. Well, wait, what happened? Why did we need to do that? Our enemies were hiding in a church, to the best of our information. That's it. I'm not talking about this anymore. Your security clearance is shit tier right now. You have to wait for it to go up. Your clearance will not go up while you're within earshot of Union headquarters. Okay, that's a fair point. So, I work in the Bloody Murder Station. Okay, it's not the Bloody Murder Station. It's an old converted silk mill with green desk lamps and a coffee corner. A lot of good people work there, hard, every day. Jamrock is the largest ghetto in Revachol. Faubourg, technically. But it's divided into 11 districts. Jamrock only has us. The press will blow over, he says in a reassuring tone. Jamrock is lucky to have you, and it's often considered to be the greatest of the districts. You're lucky to have it. Thank you again, Lieutenant. Okay, I guess I'm ready, then. Good. She looks at you, then Vikmar. Ah, fuck it, let's go. The man points down the street. Trant brought his motor carriage. It's a 20-minute drive to Jamrock. Under the evening sky, the great district turns on its lights. A chessboard of wooden houses, 80,000 living souls inside. Fire traps as far as the eye can see, from Main Street to Precinct 41 atop the motorway, to Boogie Street disappearing into the rain on the horizon. Close your eyes and hear the dogs bark. A lone woman sits by a factory window, dreaming of meteorite strikes. En route to St. Jerome, a square bullet slides into a square-shaped chamber. In Old South, a man without eyelids smiles. Spring has come. It's time. Why would you have a square bullet? Torson? Yes. McLean? Yes. Heidelstrom? No. Vikmar? Yes. Dubois? Yes. Really? Nix Gottlieb looks up from the list. I hear he's unstable. You say that like it's a bad thing. Captain Ptolemy Price gestures with a ballpoint pen. It's dim in the office, and the curtains are drawn. Harry's our man. He'll pull through. When he does, he'll side with the people. Understood. Gottlieb returns to the list. You know? Of course. Wonderful. The woman looks north. Then can we please just go back to Jamrock now? Well, that was really something. I have a lot of thoughts. About that whole experience, but I think maybe it would be best if I took some time before I started talking about any of those. I need to sort of organize things. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just leave y'all with the credit sequence, and I'll come back when it's done. Okay, well, like I was saying, that was a very singular experience, and I have been thinking about it a ton since I started playing it, and I need to think about it some more. This is where I'm going to leave you for today. Thank you all so much for watching. At some point in the coming weeks, there's going to be one more video tacked onto the end of this series, where I talk about all those thoughts, but I first need to put them into some kind of language that a person can speak. So, thank you all so much for taking this journey with me. This was incredible. Please let me know in the comments below if you finished the game, how it was for you, where you differed. Like, right now, all I want to do is hear about how this game goes for other people. So yeah, do that, please, and we'll see you next time.